All right, awesome. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our May edition of Multicloud Happenings. I'm so happy that you have joined us today. And it's Tuesday, it's the last week of May, which I can't believe how fast this year is going. So I'm really excited to bring you today to talk about simplifying and automating database migrations to Oracle Database at Azure with Oracle Zero Downtime Migration. Say that really fast. That's a lot of words. But the most important part is what we're going to bring you today with our experts today, with Sinan and Suzanne, is to talk about how to get your databases in the cloud. But specifically, we're going to talk about Oracle Database at Azure. So here are our experts today. Hi, my name is Tammy Bednar, and I support the Exadata database services, the base database services, and multi-cloud as well. And then with me is Suzanne Holliday. Hey, Suzanne.
Tammy, hey Sinan.
Thanks.
Hello,
And Sinan,
Tammy.
he's going to be giving us the most information today. Sinan, hi.
Hello, Tammy. Hello, Suzanne. How are you? Thank you for
Good.
having me here today.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today. All right. So, gotta say safe harbor statement, because as product managers, you can't trust anything we say. So whatever we say is good stuff, but you can't write it into a contract, basically. So we're past that point. Okay. So let's just talk about briefly about what is Oracle Database at Azure. So Oracle Database at Azure, we introduced that. And if you've joined us before, you've heard us talk about it. So Oracle Database in Azure is an expanded partnership that we've had with Microsoft for well over 5 years. We've had different solutions, but this one specifically is bringing Oracle Database services directly to co-locate into the Microsoft Azure regions. And so this is really significant because from a multi-cloud solution, we're automating a lot of the I should say, or how to configure all the different networking and also the services, of course, along with all the other automation that we have with our services. And also, this is reducing latency between your database sources and your application sources. And so that here again, this is also allowing you to run the workloads where you choose. That's the most important thing. That's what I love about these solutions that we are bringing you from Oracle and with this multi-cloud solution, is that you're in charge. You get to choose where you want to run your workloads. Now, specifically, the workloads from a database service perspective is the Exadata database service. And Suzanne's going to talk about a little bit more about the Exadata database service in just a second. But the other thing is that this is allowing you to move or migrate your workloads and be into the cloud to modernize and innovate. And I know I say that a lot when I talk to some of you as customers, is truly when you move to the cloud, it's not just really picking up from on-premises to another on-premise location. This is actually moving to the cloud, allows you to take a look at your applications, maybe building your own applications with a lot of the tools that we have within Azure and Oracle. But also this particular solution, if you've been working in Azure for a while, this allows you to use some of the familiar tools that you might have been using today to build your applications. Now, with this solution as well, we're allowing you to simplify operations and purchasing, because you can purchase or procure in the Azure marketplace with one unified bill. And I'm sure that makes it a little bit easier to track your costs that you are using or utilizing or consuming between your services as well. But the other thing is you can use your Azure commitments, or the MAX as they call them, as well. And also we are using a collaborative support model as well. And on Oracle's side, the support rewards apply as well. So this is a win-win-win for you as our customers to be able to really easily use a multi-cloud solution if you've been looking for one or wanting to look at one. Now, the latest Oracle Database at Azure offerings under that umbrella, the Oracle Database services that are offered are our Exadata Database service, and Suzanne's going to talk to you about that today. And then brand new, starting last week, we kind of added our autonomous database serverless capabilities under the Oracle Database at Azure umbrella solution. And we will bring you more information about the autonomous database serverless service and how it works in Oracle Database at Azure in an upcoming future webcast as well. So I just wanted to let you guys in on that in case you hadn't heard, so how exciting this is. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over to Suzanne, and she's going to talk about where the regions are or our footprint in order to run this multi-cloud solution. Okay, Suzanne, over to you.
Thank you very much, Tammy. So we've actually got a brand new slide for you today. It looks the same as the slide before, but it has an update. So we're very excited to announce that we have now added the region of Azure France Central. So Oracle and Microsoft announced this on the 22nd of May. And this is in addition to Oracle Database at Azure, already been available in Europe in Microsoft Azure Germany West Central region in Frankfurt, as well as in the UK in UK South. So these additions mark the GA of Oracle Database at Azure in Europe. This is where we're at today. And these are on top of the initial GA announcement that we had for the US East, which became generally available in December last year. So to meet growing demand from customers, we're constantly assessing the actual footprint with Microsoft. And we plan to expand into a further 11 regions. And this continued global expansion gives customers more options for their primary workloads, as well as the disaster recovery strategies. And you will have also seen that we've now validated MAA Gold, which Sinan presented last month. And today we're talking about ZDM Zero Downtime Migration, which Sinan's also going to help us with. So that's exciting, today's session, so we can cover that end to end. Next slide, please, Tammy. So just to talk about the service, which is Oracle Exadata Database Service. And as Tammy said, we've now recently added Oracle Autonomous Serverless as well. But we're focusing on Oracle Database Service on dedicated infrastructure, which is currently available in all the regions. And you as a customer, you're coming from a place of an on-premises situation. You've, as Tammy's already spoken about, you've typically got Oracle databases on premises, you're an Azure shop, you've got an Azure First, you're a Microsoft shop, excuse me, and you've probably got an Azure First strategy as well. And this is why we really like calling out the fact that the architecture is the same as on premises as it is in the cloud. And Sinan's going to talk today about how we're actually going to get those workloads and migrate them off on premises into Oracle Database at Azure with ZDM. So Exadata really is our best platform for running the Oracle database. It's been an industry-leading platform for the database for over 10 years now. And we've established this as the best performing, highly available and most secure platform. Exadata database service with Exadata's scale-out service, and we have this scale-out intelligent storage service as well. They deliver many smart hardware and software database innovations. And this is why it distinguishes itself from the other generic converged database systems. The other converged systems, I should say. And with that, we have the Oracle Converged Database built in, as we do with all our database offerings. So this is superior performance, scalability, availability, and security, and it's provided at the lowest cost with a pay-per-use database cost and online elastic resource scaling. And this deep engineering integrates the hardware and the software to create this optimized database platform delivered into the Azure data center when we're talking about Oracle Database at Azure. And as we've spoken about before, it's a co-owned managed model between Oracle and the customer, Oracle owning and managing the infrastructure. So by that, we mean the database, storage servers, internal networking, and hypervisor. And you as a, Oracle then performs the infrastructure patching, the security scans, the security updates, and you as a customer can schedule maintenance windows for infrastructure maintenance as well, but you're not authorized to access the infrastructure. Whereas the customer just subscribes to the database services, and you as a customer manage everything above the hypervisor, including cloud automation, UI APIs. And with the cloud automation enables you to then delete, patch, backup, scale up, scale down, and so forth. And this currently runs on 19C. And we are making provisions for OL8 to be supported for the 23 AI release as well. So that will be announced soon. So watch this space. So customers can install and manage additional software in the customer VM, and the customer controls who has access to the customer VM as well. And then you own everything, including the data, the schema, the encryption keys. So all in all, Oracle Database on Exadata has become an industry standard for mission-critical deployments, delivering the online transaction processing and data warehousing, in-memory analytics and mixed hybrid workloads, which makes it the ideal consolidation platform. So Microsoft and Oracle combined workloads on premises can effectively be consolidated and migrated to Oracle Database at Azure for customers with an Azure first strategy, which is what the focus of our presentation is today. Next slide, please, Tammy. Thank you. So we're just going to take a look at the overall architecture. I think the question we most get asked is where actually is the X9 Exadata hardware and the Oracle Exadata Cloud infrastructure, the VM clusters, and where's the database? Where's it all residing? So this is all deployed in the Azure Data Center in the customer's Azure Availability Zone in AZ. And since the data plane is in Azure, it provides this lowest latency connectivity with the Microsoft applications, which can be deployed in the same or different VNet. And if you see on the very left, we have the setting at the top called the client subnet, and this is required in a VNet in order to deploy an Exadata VM cluster. So you'll see on the very left where we're talking about the Azure region, the data plane where we have the Exadata, the Oracle Database at Azure, we build child sites inside the Azure data centers, and then we connect them to a specific OCI region that's closest in terms of physical proximity and network distance via this OCI network. And you'll see in the middle that we've got an OCI managed network. And this is very, very critical because we have, network traffic for the OCI control plane going over there, OCI Vault encryption and backup as well. And therefore, the OCI managed network plays a very important role in delivering low latency between the clients inside the Azure network. So you see on the right side, we've got the OCI availability domains respective to the VNets, obviously in the same region, or the very closest proximity today we have them all in the same. And each OCI availability domain can have one or more data center sites with child data center sites. They just act as an extension of the OCI fabric. So the Oracle Exadata Cloud infrastructure and VM clusters are deployed in the Azure portal, and the database itself is provisioned via the OCI UI APIs, as well as the Oracle Database Lifecycle Management. So that being said, and having taken you through the architecture, and we've spoken a lot about customers who are on premises and want to migrate their databases to Oracle Database at Azure, I'm going to hand over to you now, Sinan, to really present the core of the session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Susan, for the introduction. Thank you, Tammy, for talking about Oracle Database at Azure and the Exadata Cloud service at Oracle Database at Azure. And now let's take you to the Oracle Zero Downtime Migration part to show you how to move to Exadata Cloud service on Oracle Database at Azure. So probably, Susan, if it's easier if and Tammy, if I could share my slides and
Sure, hold on. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Then I can click through them through the session So before talking about zero downtime migration, just let's have a look at the migration challenges customers usually encounter when moving data from one database to another, and especially when moving to Oracle Cloud. To the cloud is the specialized knowledge that you might need to acquire, especially if you need a minimal downtime for your migration, while you will need additional products like DataGuard and Golden Gate. Also the licensing that are required, especially for Golden Gate, to use for your migrations. If your data is unencrypted or not unencrypted, you are moving to the cloud. In the cloud, everything is unencrypted. You will need to care about the TDE encryption. If you are moving from a lower database version to a higher one, especially across release versions or even across major release versions, so you are doing an upgrade and migrate at the same time, or even switching from different architectures like across little and big endians, or switching database architecture from non-CDB to the multi-tenant architecture. There are many things you will need to consider and take care of. And to solve these issues and to make your migrations simpler and to automate your migrations, which is the title of today's sessions, to simplify and automate your Oracle database migrations. We've introduced Oracle Zero Downtime already 5 years ago. That is an orchestration tool to migrate your Oracle databases to Exadata Cloud, to Exadata on-premises as well, Exadata Cloud Customer, Oracle Managed Services and Autonomous Database and OCI, and now also for Oracle Database at Azure. And Oracle ZDM, to give you a short introduction if you haven't heard about it before, is a free software provided by Oracle that allows you to automate your Oracle database migrations end-to-end. You just provide the database connectivity to the source database, to the target environment, the configuration file, and then it automates the entire migration for you. It's also based on maximum availability architecture best practices. So if you are leveraging backup and restore, Golden Gate, DataGuard in the background, it's taking care of all the best practices, the configuration for you in the background without having you dealing with all the parameters with the configuration. So you just download the binary from my Oracle support, the latest version. You install it on a separate VM. This VM could be actually anywhere on premises or on the cloud. The only thing you need is that this VM where your ZDM is installed, what we then call the ZDM service host, that have access to the source and the target environment to orchestrate your migrations. However, the data always goes from the source directly to the target and never traverses the ZDM service host. The workflow is customizable, so you can add steps in between. You can stop the migration job, resume it later on. You can execute it in a dry run just to check the prerequisites if they are met. You have customizable user actions if you have your own scripts that you want to run before specific phases, you can do so. And the power of ZDM comes into play, especially if you are migrating multiple databases, like a bunch of databases, where the jobs framework comes into play, and you can initiate one migration that will create a job that's running in the background, and immediately after that, you can just add another configuration file, just change the source and target database information and connection strings, and then you initiate another and another and another job, migration job, and all these jobs can be run at the same time in parallel, so migrating multiple databases at the same time. It also encrypts the database for you in the cloud. So you are compliant, you are set in the cloud without worrying about any manual additional steps that you need to do afterward. Okay. It also supports multiple source and target database versions, migrations from non-CDB to PDB, and also multiple target platforms, and now also the validation and the certification for the accelerated cloud service on Oracle Database at Azure. And this is the high-level architecture that we have validated using the physical online migration that's based on building the target database, in this case, directly as a restore from service from the source database. So we are not relying on any intermediate storage location, making the migration even simpler. So just build the target database from the source over the network. And once the database is built in the cloud, we keep it synchronized and up to date using Oracle Data Guard by applying all changes, all the reload that was applied during the restore to keep the target database up to date and afterwards as well. So you can keep the data guard set up for a while if you want, until you test and have a look at the target database. And once you are ready, you can resume the job the migration job that will then take care of switching over the rules. So your source database becomes the standby, and your target database, which is now the main database, or your target database, which becomes then the primary database that will be then used by the application. By the way, just as a reminder, if you have any questions, please leave these questions in the Q&A section, and we are happy to go through your questions after the presentation and have a look at them. So next, I'll take you through the step-by-step instructions or the steps that are required for this migration workflow, which is basically what you will do first is download the ZDM software, install it on a VM. It could be just an existing VM sitting somewhere on your on-premises data center, or if you don't have any resources there, you can even install it on a new VM in the cloud. This is up to you. It works either way. Important thing is this ZDM service host needs to have access to the source and to the target databases via SSH, and then you have to have a SQLnet connectivity between the primary and the target database, and vice versa. So once you have installed ZDM and ensured ZDM can connect to the source and target database as discussed, ZDM will connect and perform the restore from service to initiate the target database in the cloud. And as next, enables TDE for the target database on Oracle Database at Azure. And then synchronizes the primary and the standby database using Oracle Data Guard. And once these are synchronized and you are ready to continue the migration, you can stop the migration at this step, but you don't necessarily need to. If you want, you can stop it and then resume it at a later point in time, or you can just let it go all in one go. And then once you decide to complete the migration, ZDM will switches the rules for you. So you have your primary database in the cloud. And finally, ZDM does some validations, finishes the data guard configuration, executes data patch if necessary. So for example, if you are migrating, let's say from version 19 going to 20, and your target database is 19.22. The physical migration workflow requires the target database to be at the same major release version, so 19C. Both primary and standby needs to be, or source and target needs to be on 19C. However, your target database could be at a higher release update version. So instead of 20, you have 22 here. And in this case, ZDM will automatically consider this and executes data patch afterwards. So your source database, the data dictionary, gets updated for the 22 release update as well, and verifies the successful migration and cleans up the environment, the connectivity, and then exits gracefully, and then you are done with your migration. And as mentioned, if you have fleet migration, if you are migrating tens or even hundreds of databases, as we have already seen with many customers, you don't need to wait until one migration is completed and start another. You can just start all migration jobs at the same time if you want. And the ZDM, the service host, is orchestrating them, and data are not traversing the ZDM service host, but just going from the source directly to the target database. In this case, usually you will have a dedicated and secure connectivity from on-premises to Azure Data Center via Express route. Probably for a POC, you probably could use a VPN, but usually for the production environment, especially for very large databases where you need the necessary bandwidth, you will go with the Express route, or even if you are a Microsoft customer already and are you using Azure already, so you must probably have an Express route already set up there. Okay, so to summarize, ZDM provides multiple workflows that supports migrations from different platforms, different database versions, to different database targets, now including Oracle Database at Azure, leveraging known and established Oracle database technologies like Data Pump, RMM Backup and Restore, Oracle Data Guard, and Oracle Golden Gate. ZDM is free of charge. You can just download and install it and use it, and even provides you with the necessary licensing for Golden Gate, for example, if you are using it for cloud target databases. It simplifies migrations, even if you are going from the non-multi-tenant architecture or non-CDB, non-container databases, to the multi-tenant architecture, or even if you are doing an in-flight upgrade from, let's say, 11G to 19C. However, you will need to go with the logical migrations for the moment for that, but it provides you the option for that as well. For more resources, to read more and try it yourself on Life Labs, and have a step-by-step guides with all the necessary steps and the exact commands and examples of the configuration files, the exact parameter values that you will need to set up for the different workflows. We have all these in a step-by-step guides. For sure, just go to the documentation as well for the exact installation steps. All this you'll encounter at oracle.com/go-to/ZDM. Easy to keep in mind, just oracle.com, go to ZDM, and it will take you to the ZDM main page. And from there, it's linked to the documentation and and guides and much more resources to learn about ZDM. So the benefits here, to summarize, we have an Exadata infrastructure built in into the Azure platform directly, that provides you the highest performance, the highest scalability, high availability with Oracle RAC, and the security, from the Oracle database, low latency to your Azure applications, all inside the Azure data center. Very easy to provision the Exadata Cloud infrastructure and the VM cluster from the Azure portal, and use your Azure commitments, the MACC, for using the Oracle database services. You can also use the bring your own license or the license included model. And we are having this service in more and more regions, and just recently, as Susan mentioned, was enabled in the Paris, France, Paris region, and much more regions to come. So thank you so far, and let's see if we have some questions we could go through.
Thanks, Sinan. Let's see. One from Frederick. It's important to say that if customers have existing data guard as DR, it's not affected. I think that is correct.
Yes, correct. The source database could already be on the data guard configuration, and ZDM, it will just build another standby database in the cloud. Yes.
Great. Hey, Linda, thank you for your questions today. I'm happy to hear that you're interested in looking at Exadata. If Suzanne or I can help you with Exadata or getting to know Exadata, I'm more than happy to talk with you. Just reach out to us you can reach out to me at tammy.bednar@oracle.com. Happy to have a conversation with you and get you hooked up and answer all your questions as well. So thank you again for joining us today as well. And thank you for your questions. We really appreciate that. I think, Sinan, that you really did cover a lot of zero downtime migration. And just to reconfirm that zero downtime migration, we can do a logical as well as a physical migration. And we do utilize DataGuard underneath the covers as well as Golden Gate, depending on the type of migration, right?
Correct. Yes. Absolutely.
And the most important thing, this is a free tool.
Yes, absolutely.
But the Exadata part is not. So we had a question on that. Sorry, Sinan, carry on.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, even on top of it is free. It provides you even for licensing for using Golden Gate if you are using it as a target. If you are using the cloud as a target database, yes, absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Susan. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that while ZDM is a free tool, a migration tool, Frederick also asked the question about the payment with regards to the licensing. I was just typing the answer just as we flipped over to Q&A. And the question was, do we have to pay for the Exadata licenses if we're using Azure? And the way that that's done, of course, all Oracle database licenses need to be licensed, and that would be transacted via the Azure marketplace via a private offer. And we have done a whole load of integration and working with Microsoft to make sure that it's one smooth transaction, as Tammy said, that it's delivered as one unified bill from the Azure perspective and from the Oracle side as well. But in the background, what's really happening is you are engaging with your Oracle rep in order to get that price for you as a customer. But you actually burn that down and can pay for it, should you wish to do so, via your Mac as well on the Azure side. So if you've got a large Mac commitment, enables you to purchase Oracle Exadata database service and burn that down. And within that Mac commitment, we've also extended that to the object storage and the OCI networking, which we added recently as well. Okay.
Okay, so thank you, Linda, for additional questions. If you use ZDM, will Golden Gate show up in an audit use? It shouldn't, because if you're using ZDM, you shouldn't get, I mean, it's part of our tools that we use in order to use ZDM, and that will not show up in your audit. Is that correct, Sinan?
Yeah, so you are free to use it, and for the audit, if you are, I think you are referring to the licensing audit. We are also working on um, showing the usage of the different um, options and licensing and tools that are being used by ZDM. So you can even prove it to the audit people if you are getting auditing from Oracle from the licensing. So you can show it that this was used as part of a ZDM migration. So if you need more details, just reach out directly to us, and we are happy to share more information about that. But you don't need to worry about this part, because this is included in the ZDM usage, as you mentioned, Tammy, and it's free as part of the ZDM migration.
Great, thank you. And then Linda, you have a question about Oracle on Azure must use Exadata. Well, no, this is just an opportunity to run your databases on the Exadata platform. If you don't know about the Exadata platform, more than happy to have a talk with you and go through what the Exadata platform is. You can run Oracle databases on the Azure platforms that are provided. However, the licensing is a little different. It does not use the same Exadata technology. So no, you don't have to use Exadata to run your databases. As Oracle, we're going to say it's the best platform to run your databases, your Oracle databases on, but you should get all the information that you're looking for. And so you can compare and you can make the decision based on, what's available and how it behaves to run your Oracle workloads against your database, or against your applications, I should say. Again, this is, we're here to offer the information to help you to make those decisions as well. But yeah, I guess
I just want to add, Tammy, as well, that we can only run the Oracle databases on Oracle Database at Azure, which are available for Oracle Database at Azure, which, as we've said today, is the Oracle Autonomous Database serverless, as well as Exadata Database service. So not currently based database service, but you answered that question in its entirety about running it on Azure Compute as well. And we're here to help those kinds of decisions.
And the Exadata cloud service also includes rack by default for the high availability and scalability. And you won't have this if you are just running your Oracle database on the Azure platform, not on the Oracle database at Azure. So you don't have these high availability and scalability benefits. So you'll go with a single instance database and probably running Oracle Data Guard, but won't have all the performance, the availability that Oracle RAC and Exadata provides on the Exadata cloud service at Azure.
Yeah, and it's just like running Oracle on Azure Compute. It's just like running it on premises. You've got no automation, no cloud tooling. It's a hard slog. It's the land of manual implementation.
Okay, BYO can work for Oracle databases on Azure, even not using Exadata. About that one, I'm not sure of. I don't know if you can use BYOL on Azure Compute or not.
Yeah, so for Azure on Azure Compute, it's always bring your own license. So you don't
It
have
always is bring your own license?
any license included. It is
Okay.
just like on premises, you'll need to bring your own license if you are running on Azure Compute.
Okay, thank you for Sinan. I wasn't sure about that. Okay, perfect.
But as you say, Tammy, it's got a whole different pricing level.
Yeah, it's a whole different licensing kind of thing. So how many licenses you use on compute versus how many you use on the Exadata platform is a little bit different. So.
And in addition to that, now we have also autonomous Oracle database at Azure. So if you don't require an entire Exadata platform on Exadata machine, and you will just want a small piece of a database, you go with autonomous, and autonomous is based in the background on Oracle Exadata and Oracle RAC, which is now available in the US region, and we are rolling out more regions in the upcoming time.
Right. Autonomous database serverless is on a shared architecture. If you can run on shared architecture, then, that might be a good solution for you as well. So encourage you to look into that one. Okay. Well, I really do appreciate all the questions today. I think those were really great questions. And Sinan, I want to thank you very much for presenting on migration using zero downtime migration. I think it's very important. Suzanne, thank you so much for all your information and added support for this Ask Tom session. So with that, I think we'll close it out for the May edition. Please come back in June when we have another multi-cloud topic to talk about, or if you have specific topics you would like to hear from us, please email us or let us know what you would like to hear as well. So with that, I think we'll close this out. Have a great, happy ending to May, and we'll see you all in June. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bye.
Tammy. Bye, everybody.